everybody, and welcome to the Everything is Fine, Nothing is Ruined podcast. I'm your host, Hassan, joined as always by co-host Tristan.
That's me, everybody. Hi.
Folks, this week it's Tristan's topic. He wants to talk about something called Slow Horses, says it's a TV show. I know nothing about it, but based on the name and the usual things Tristan talks about, I'm fairly certain that this is a Uma Musume spin-off show where it focuses on their slice of life, kind of just daily living away from the racetrack. So Tristan, before we get too deep into this, I think we need to answer the question everyone's going to be asking, which is your favorite Uma Musume?
What the fuck are you talking about? Because we all
Tristan,
know
this is your...
Because we all know that Uma Musume Pretty Derby doesn't feature any of the mainline horses. Son, fuck off, God. You should know that.
Well, my favorite Uma Musume is Gary Oldman.
Oh,
I just think the way that
correct.
They always call things kawaii, and they try but they fail. They're just adorable.
I would love to see Gary Oldman say kawaii. Especially as the character in Slow Horses. That would be awesome. Yeah. You have no idea.
Yeah. We talk about people like Gary Oldman or what's his face from There Will Be Blood. Blanking on his name now.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis. People talk about them as the greatest actors of all time and all that.
Sure.
If they really want to prove that, they should take on the role of a 16-year-old Japanese schoolgirl and going around calling things kawaii to prove how good they truly are at acting.
I think you're correct. That would show me how good they are at acting. I fully agree.
Yeah. If I could watch it go, I didn't even realize that was them. Incredible.
Yeah.
Then they can take it.
That'd be awesome. I honestly would watch that. Not for long, but I'd watch it. But no, we're here today to regretfully discuss Slow Horses. Regretfully, I don't know why. Slow Horses is a Apple Plus TV series. It's been going on for 6 seasons. And hey, Hassan.
Yes.
Know how we rail against the current way streaming services have been doing TV shows for a long time, and Apple is definitely no better than Netflix or the other ones. They just have a slightly better track record of quality. Yes. Yeah, because if you look at one of the best Apple TV series coming out, Severance, season 3 is not due until who knows. They have not put an actual date on that. Oh yeah, bud.
How do they not have a date on it?
They're working on it. They just don't.
Doesn't that show only have 8 cast members?
Something like that, yeah.
And a fairly limited set.
Well, they season 2 goes places, and they expand the set exponentially. The limited set kind of turns into we don't know how big this actually is. So yeah,
it just seems like it wouldn't be that hard a show to.
You would think.
Get out a little quicker.
Yeah, I fully agree, but they have said they don't expect to even start working on it until 2027, and then after that, who fucking knows? Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a choice.
It's a choice, right? Slow Horses, thankfully, has had a season after a season after a season after a season after a season. 5 seasons, with the 6th one coming out this year. Started in 2022. So, and I here's the thing. The show is quite British.
Okay.
And the Brits
that explains.
Yeah. The Brits have a pretty eclectic way of doing TV seasons, I would say. And I think that is a good thing in this case. Because what you get is a show that just kind of keeps coming out. And Slow Horses is similar to Severance, where it has, a limited cast with, the sets are mostly within London, if not sometimes do a little bit of global travel, but nothing too extravagant. But usually in London, in the Slough House, or sometimes they go to like mainline MI5 headquarters, that kind of stuff. But usually they use office buildings, a rundown apartment complex, or they shoot on site. Yeah, it seems like a fairly easy show to shoot for, and the characters, they definitely just kind of roll with what's going on the set, and sometimes they just kind of like, you know, they use what they can, and they make it work. It's a very well working show. So this show, like I said, thankfully just kind of eschews the hey, we need to wait like 2 years for another season. Barring any extravagant bullshit that happens during production, or like an actor dies or something, or some crazy shit happens. It's out next year. Don't worry about it. We got you. We're rolling on it. So yeah, Slow Horses, just to rip off that Band-Aid, is a show that is coming out and has multiple seasons, and I would say this is probably my favorite Apple TV show ever at this point. And that's, which is like, hey, I've seen Severance, I've seen Ted Lasso, etc. There are really good shows at Apple TV Plus. How is that possible? Well, we're talking about a show that just has a good full package feel. It's also a show that does not mind... It doesn't mind a little bit of character death. And so sometimes you get a bit of a revolving door. And like, it's kind of set up as if this show is going to be The Office, but they're spies. It's got a bit of that. Like, from the word go, what Slower Horses is about is fuck up spies. Not even just fucked up, but fuck up. Like, they have screwed up so bad, but MI5 can't let them go because they know shit, and so they stick them in Slough House, which is run by an ex Cold War operative who doesn't give a shit about them, it seems, and basically has them doing just random bullshit tasks to keep them occupied, and so they don't go blabbing MI5 secrets to other terrorist organizations and shit for money.
So who are they spying on in that? Is it a like, oh, we're gonna have you just spy on unimportant nations? You know, it's like,
not even.
Hey, you're gonna spy on like a micronation kind of thing.
Not even.
Oh.
That would be too big of a task for them. These guys have fucked up so bad that they're spying on, in the first season, a guy who is a former far-right journalist. Not even anybody who's of any clout or notoriety enough to put anybody of worth onto him. He can't, like, a guy who they think will not be anywhere near all that bad, but hey, you gotta watch him just in case. And so the first season, the first episode of season 1, it starts off with your fairly main character, River Cartwright, and showing how he fucked up, which he was set up to fuck up, in the sense that he was during a training exercise in which he was kind of leading a counter-terrorist op in Heathrow, but they have kind of like booked off a section of the airport to run this exercise. He screwed up so bad that it kind of spilled over into the rest of the airport, and they effectively had to call in a real bomb threat to Heathrow.
Okay.
Yeah, because he accidentally injured real people. and like he punched out a bunch of actors, and like he kind of like took it a little too seriously, where he was supposed to, but he went way too hard on it because he misheard directions, or so he was told. Said he misheard. The terrorist he was looking for was wearing a blue shirt and had a white backpack, but he found a guy who had a white shirt and a blue backpack, and it's just that kind of situation where like the wires got crossed, but then there's a whole thing of like whether or not he actually got those wires crossed, because the guy writing the op in his ear was a dude. I can't remember his first name, but his last name is Webb, and he just goes with the nickname Spider. And he is, what if Draco Malfoy was a spy and greasy as fuck? I kid you not. Anyway. So he's running the op, and it sounds like he kind of fucks with River and makes him screw up, and he gets into Slough House. That's how the show begins. And the next thing is River digging through the trash of this like far right journalist who they're trying to spy on. Like all of them are on this op, and most of them are just kind of there just to kind of like do whatever and just get out of the hair of actual operations for MI5. And yeah, that's the vibe of the show. They are mostly just kind of put in the corner. Don't worry about them. Slow horse, don't look at them, don't touch them, don't even think about them. If we need them, someone will call their handler, Jackson Lamb, and then he will dispatch one of them to run an errand. Maybe we need more toilet paper in this one locale in the safe house. Send Slough House. Maybe, hey, we need somebody to go and collect this guy's urine over at this op. Slough House will do it. They'll do anything because they want back in. Here's a way to get in. And everybody's got a story as to why they were put in Slough House and why they don't belong there, and whether or not they're going to try and get back into the good graces of MI5 and get back in proper. And stories vary from like, hey, I kind of screwed up a mission a little bit, and they thought that was bad enough for me to be here, but it went smooth, but I wasn't perfect, and that required perfection kind of thing. To I left my phone, my operational phone during the op, on a bus with the screen unlocked, and spilled secrets out into the public. Stuff like that.
So what you're telling me is that this show is completely unrealistic because all the people just fail upwards.
This show is like watching the current like United States run FBI by Kash Patel. It's like watching.
Yeah, except again they fail upwards, not they get punished.
Yeah, well, actually, this is accurate because Slow Horses in this show, Slough House does sort of fail upwards.
Okay.
It's one of those shows where, like, okay, here's a conceit. Like, I gave you the idea, but Slow Horses will actually save the day. They are going to constantly kind of fuck it up, but they're going to fix their mistakes and actually will save the day. So for instance, in season 1, what this season is about is the trying to find this far right. They found this far right journalist, and they have someone actually steal his laptop and bring it back to Slough House. They don't steal his laptop. They steal files off of his laptop during a hot swap, and they're able to get what they need from him. They distract him during at a coffee shop and get his files, and they're kind of like digging into his dirt and that kind of stuff. And in this episode, in this season, basically they wind up involved with a terrorist cell who has captured a a Muslim comic writer. Like he writes for comedians, specifically like a friend of his who was a white guy, but he doesn't really have the balls to like get on stage himself. He's just kind of like stage, like, you know, crowd shy, that kind of stuff. But he's a good writer. He writes really good jokes. He just doesn't really have it in him to get up front. But anyway, this terrorist cell kidnaps him, and these guys are like basically your Patriot Prayer kind of dudes who are, you know, very much against Muslims and that sort of stuff. Who in Oath Keepers, I should say, who are in the UK, and they want to get them out, and they're going to make this guy disabled by cutting off his head on live TV during a live stream, and that's going to solve, you know, racism, something,
sure,
etc. So this guy is missing, and then basically through happenstance, Slough House kind of figures out where this guy is, and is all talk of the town, and they effectively start trying to hunt this dude down. Yada yada yada. They save the day. There's a whole thing where like there's twists and turns within the season where like you think that there's a mole within the there's an MI5 mole within the terrorist cell, and so like, okay, Buddy's actually safe, not a problem, and you're like, oh, it's the guy with the weird bowl cut, yeah, like because you see him like go upstairs and like secretly talk to somebody on a phone, and he's like, okay, he's clearly with MI5 and this sort of shit. But then it's revealed like actually he's talking to a politician who's also a far right extremist and all this shit. It's like it goes off the rails from there.
That would never happen.
Oh, never. But yeah, it goes off the rails from there, where he basically like he ends up shooting the actual mole in the face with a shotgun. This show does not hide the gore. It is happy to show you bits of everything just everywhere. I'm fine with it. But in season 1, when they shoot the MI5 operative's head off with a shotgun, it's like from here.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a nasty little thing. Yeah. So yeah, they don't hide that. They don't hide that shit. But yeah, after that, of course, like, so they have to then track down the terrorist cell, and they end up figuring out where they're going based on geopositioning and all this other data, and they get there, they save the comedian, etc. It's a whole, you know, like slow horses have done it. They've pulled off a mission. It's fantastic. Good for them. So that's the general vibe of the show. Of course, season 2 comes by, and like they're back in the dumps. Like they're still Slough House. We don't care about them. We gotta reset the status quo. Even though things have progressed, there's still a status quo where they don't get too far. Anyway, that's the vibe of the show. It's very much your like. It's very much an old school feeling kind of show, but with the budget of a premiere drama. So it's doing stuff. The mentality is, you know, Sopranos, Lost, that kind of shit. They have a very specific, like, we're gonna kind of like keep things moving, but you always know where everybody stands unless they are fired or they die. And effectively, if if we need to, we can like jet set out to France. We can do some shooting out in a different locale.
I mean, London to France, not
I know,
exactly jet set.
Not quite. But the other places too. Like, there is an episode that's shot in, I think it's Libya somewhere. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, they go places. Occasionally. Not always, but occasionally. It always comes back to what's happening in London. I mean, London's a great city to shoot a spy show in. It's a pretty dense city. Like, yeah, so there's always kind of something to do. There's always weird twisty alleyways you can go down. Slough House itself, like it sits above a pub. Shocker, right? But it sits above a pub. But to get to Slough House, you have to go through a back alley, like halfway in the back alley, and go up a fire escape to get into the building proper. And that's just the accepted normal way to get into their workplace. So yeah, that's the vibe of this. It's very grungy, very dingy, and it's mostly about the people who work here. So like I said, workplace comedy, but with blood and guts and spies. It's a spy show. One of the things this show does is it's very much about your aspects of spy fiction. And what I mean by that is if you look at each character, you can kind of break down who is supposed to represent what in spy fiction. And you kind of break it down per per movie or per character based on what they're trying to bring forward. And the two biggest effectively diametrically opposed characters in the show are Jackson Lamb, who is Gary Oldman, and River Cartwright. And Jackson Lamb is your... How can I put this? He's... What if James Bond was in Chinatown? Like the movie Chinatown. What if that ending happened to him?
Okay.
He's an ex-Cold War spy who was very good at what he did. But like he is, I mean, it's Gary Oldman, and so it's an easy comparison. He's basically, it's like you're watching Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which is the Gary Oldman movie, and it's just like that's the character where he's running these ops. He's very intelligent. He's 100% like involved. He knows everybody's dirty shit. He knows how to pull off these jobs. He knows where to go, where to walk. He's like old and fat, and he uses that to his advantage to basically disarm everybody into thinking that he doesn't know what he's doing. He's got long, greasy hair, an unkempt beard, he's got holes in his socks. He doesn't wear a tie anymore. All this shit. He farts all the time. He's always got like his shirt is always stained in some way. He's basically Harvey Bullock from Batman.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
But when he starts talking, you realize what he's doing is he's disarming you through his looks and basically like talking circles around you and forcing you into giving him the information that you don't want to give him because he's just that damn charismatic and he knows exactly how to pull this shit on you. And so he's always the smartest guy in the room. Versus River Cartwright, who is effectively representing your like stock standard James Bond, Jason Bourne kind of character. He is action first, intelligence later. And he tries really hard to use his brains on an op and trying to, cover all the bases. But what he's really good at is flying in, shooting a guy, punching some dudes, getting in there, messing them all up, and then hopefully that works out for him.
All right.
Yeah. A great example of that, per se, is River Cartwright in season 4 of the show. There's a whole thing involving his 4 or 5. It was 4. There's a whole thing involving his character. One second, let me make sure that's right. Yes, season 4. The whole thing involving his character, where basically he gets blamed for, he is thought dead. Yes, let's make sure that's right, because otherwise it's very important. Yes. Okay. Yes. So he's thought dead. It's actually thought that his grandfather, who is the former first chair of MI5, like the big head honcho, has killed him, like basically because he has Alzheimer's and mistook River for a different person, and his grandfather like shot this guy with a shotgun as well, and I got also once again made a big mess in the face, and it's like
Dick Cheney, gotcha.
Like Dick Cheney, yes, except this guy doesn't live. So anyway, River is alive. Just this one's revealed at the end of the episode, so I don't really care to spoil that one. Your thought, like, okay, is he actually dead? Because this show does not shy away from killing characters, like I said. It's just like, and they're usually pretty random deaths, and this really could have been one, but the character, you can definitely tell the person that David Cartwright shot was definitely not River Cartwright, but somewhat of it looked like, even though the camera's kind of blurring what's happening and this kind of stuff, and they do a lot to kind of like discuss David Cartwright's Alzheimer's and that kind of thing. It's a very poignant bit of like acting and writing. Regardless, River goes off to France because he realizes he finds evidence on this guy's person that he's part of a organization in France that's doing some crazy shit, and he's just like, he's confused by it, which is often River's standard, is confusion, and he runs to France in his like tactical turtleneck, like I'm Jason Bourne bullshit. His full getup is like, I'm gonna go. He's got a trench coat. It's all made of wool, everything. He's like, I'm gonna go fuck some guys up in France and get my goddamn answer. That's his mentality to it. He gets to France, and he finds the place where he has to go. It's a little village in France. Shocker. And basically, he is immediately assaulted, knocked out, held hostage in this house, which is the house where his mother grew up in. And like the guys holding him hostage is effectively his uncle, and they know this, but they're parts of a weird terrorist cell, and so they don't trust him, but they know who he is, but they don't like him enough anyway, so it doesn't matter. And so he tries to escape by like fighting them off with a frying pan, but they all have guns, and he's realized it's a terrible situation regardless of everything. And then eventually, some more people from the rest of the village show up to kill him because they think he's a different guy, the guy who was already killed the previous episode. And so he makes his master escape by trying to do like cool Jason Bourne stuff. And he flees at the window of this apartment complex he's in, like runs across some rooftops, does some cool parkour, loses them, and then falls through a tin roof and injures himself badly. Yeah, that'll happen. And injures himself badly. He then limps away, and then carjacks a guy's like moped, and barely makes it out as a dog chases him. And this is just like an example of River Cartwright. Typically, I guess I should rephrase this. He is, what if Mr. Bean was Jason Bourne? You know, Johnny English.
That's Johnny English, yeah.
Yeah. But he's got the presentation of he's not Rowan Atkinson. He's not. he's at least Pierce Brosnan, right?
Well, even Pierce Brosnan did The Matador, I think it was called. He did like a parody spy movie.
Yes, he did. Yeah, The Matador.
It was all right.
Yeah, it's okay.
I remember liking it.
Yeah. Throw him The Matador.
Yeah. Actually, do they have any, like, I know you mentioned Gary Oldman, but
yeah,
like, he only had the one movie. Do they have any like ex Bond or ex like, hey, here's somebody who played, a spy in a TV show or repeated movies like that.
Oh yeah. I hear
Kind of fun nods like that.
Not as far as I know. One second. Let me just kind of like go through the.
Missed opportunity there. Then
Hugo Weaving's in this. In fact, it turns out Hugo. Yeah, Hugo.
I don't know that he's played a spy before.
Well, not necessarily a spy. Let's see here. I mean, he was Babe. He wasn't Babe Pig in the City. Cameo, but still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. I don't know. There's still the interview, Strange Planet, The Matrix, obviously. He was Elrond in
Lord of the Rings. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, he was in Russian Doll. In 2000, which was a spy movie.
Yeah, but I more so mean like somebody like a Matt Damon,
Yes.
a Tom Cruise, a Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, no. They don't actually.
Dan Craig, etc. Get somebody who it's like, oh, here's this person who spent years in this recurring role.
Yeah, no, nobody like that. They have Kristen Scott Thomas. She's really good as the second chair of MI5, but she's never been in spy movies, as far as I know, and she's not noteworthy for that specifically anyway. That would have been really good. They didn't do that, and I don't necessarily know why. I think it's maybe just to kind of like avoid comparisons. Even though they're making it themselves, I think Slow Horses does a really good job of kind of grounding everything as much as they can in reality. Even though it does tend to break reality sometimes, just when it's convenient or funny. This is definitely not necessarily a comedy, but it does have some good like comedic bits occasionally. And it's usually the deaths that are pretty comedic, if they are not like necessarily very shocking ones. A great example. So this is also involving River Cartwright. He tends to be involved in shocking deaths and injuring people. Season 5. They're trying to stop a kind of a sleeper cell, far right extremist group, similar idea, kind of situation happening. But these guys are specifically like more Islamic terrorists. They have a bit of a weirder mission. I don't want to go into it too much. It's not necessarily for Islam per se. It's a whole different thing. It's more so like they're Islamic, but their whole thing is like, we gotta sow the seeds of chaos for chaos theory's sake. It's a weird one. Season 5 is good, but it has a weird presentation as to what the motives are.
They're pronounced chows.
They're not pronounced chows.
Chow Garden.
Chow is not. Go away. You leave Sonic the Hedgehog out of this. Specifically, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Sonic Adventures 2 actually is what it is. Jesus. No. Anyway, so they're sowing chaos theory, not Chow theory, chaos theory. And there is a scene in which they're going to kill whoever wins that night's political debate, because there's a mayorship debate happening, and whoever wins it, they're going. They're going to take them out. The most popular candidate's got to go, kind of thing. And so they have two teams on both candidates. One team has Shirley and what her name? Shirley
Maurice.
Not Maurice. No.
Ellen.
Oh, I should say. You know what? I did miss one thing. Jonathan Pryce is David Cartwright. So it's Jonathan fucking Pryce. So
yeah.
Anyway, yes. I lost my
Gerald.
place here. Gerald? No.
Cheryl.
Cheryl. It might be Cheryl. There's a Cheryl. Ah, no. It's Catherine Stanish. There we go. So basically, it's these two characters. So Catherine, who is effectively she's not an agent. She's not a spy. She's been their receptionist, kind of caretaker, kind of lady. Their money penny, if you will. But she's an older woman, and she's just kind of like, she runs the office basically. And at some point, she quits because she just can't deal with Jackson Lamb's bullshit anymore. Because he's playing the spy game in like kind of a weird outskirts way, and it's a whole thing. But she's roped into season 5 as someone who just knows how to deal with people, and that is one thing you get to know about Stanish, is that she's very good at getting into people's heads just at a very personal level and getting people to open up, and she just kind of like thinks about things in a non-spy way. It's like, oh, how do we gather this information? I don't know how we're gonna like even try to find this person's license plate number. Like, okay, well basically we're gonna hack into the traffic system, use the traffic cameras to find where he's at and geolocate him that way and figure out what his license plate number is. And she's like, I just called up the DMV and got it. Like, she's that kind of person.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's her and no, not her. What's her name? Not Sid. I don't know, lady. What's her name? Oh man, I can't remember her name now. Fuck. Shirley. There we go. So it's Shirley.
Gloria.
Not Gloria. Shirley. So it's Catherine Stanish, Catherine and Shirley, and they are at the current mayor's rally, and he's like a leftist mayor trying to do good for the for London, who still is, he's still a politician, even though he's like, hey, I'm gonna make sure London is gonna be awesome, and we're gonna put more programs in place and make sure people have food to eat and rent's low and all this shit. But he's still also kind of like a bit of a seedy politician kind of guy. Anyway, so they're at his debate while River Cartwright and one of my favorite characters, J.K. Coe, is at the other one. I need to explain J.K. for a second. So J.K. Coe comes out in season 4, I believe. Yes. And his whole thing is JK is severely damaged with PTSD. Like immensely damaged. And he is a guy who he's always wearing a hoodie. He always has his hood up. And he's always listening to something on a pair of wired headphones. And he claims it as a podcast. If you ask him what he's listening to, he just says podcast and leaves it at that. If you fuck with him, he will kill you. He has a numerous amount of push knives in his pockets, and he just will brandish them at a drop of a hat.
That's not legal. Can't do that.
He's an MI5 operative. He can do what he wants. Seems. Also, he is racked up the most kills in cold blood for any character, despite only being in 2 seasons. Doesn't give a shit about human life. His colleagues, A-okay with them. Everybody else, spendable. Anyway, he's fucked up and kind of awesome. But anyway, Cartwright and Co. Are on the tail of the far-right politician, and so they follow him to the site of that night's debate, so they can kind of warn him and get to him and that kind of stuff before everything goes down. And they couldn't get to him during the rally that he had planned for the day, so they had to get to him afterward. And so they scope out the theater where the debate's going to happen. They find the terrorist sniper nest kind of stuff, and they're about to report it, and they realize, oh shit, the politician's right down there below us, and he's practicing his speech tonight. Okay, awesome. And so they're going to go down there and talk to him. And so River's there's two ways down. The stairs, which they just climbed, it's a whole like long-winded thing. Or they could take the effectively a bunch of scaffolding down that's set up to do repairs in the building. And River's like, okay, I'm gonna go this way because this way I can like scope things out a little easier, and also I still need you up here, JK, just in case some shit happens. And so River runs out, and a guy starts attacking the politician. It's like, oh shit, that's the terrorist. And so like he's getting to his face, and River runs out and like beats this guy up, but it's the handler for the other politician, and he runs off. It's like, okay, that's weird but crazy. And the far right politician's just like, oh, thanks for saving me, all this shit. And like River has already told JK to like get down as fast as possible. The guy's gonna be killed, kind of thing. And so JK sets off a series of Rube Goldberg bullshit that effectively kills the politician in front of River via paint bucket.
So does that mean that Count Binface wins by default?
Count Binface does not win by default, no. Yeah, sorry. Binface is not going to win any political...
see about that.
Yeah. He might. Wouldn't get him out.
Politician we all deserve.
Someone deserves him, that's for sure. I'm not sure of his politics, but I know of Binface. Anyway, so yeah, that's the kind of level of shenanigans this show is dealing with. It's a lot of fun. It's also just a really good spy show. Some of the shit that gets set up as far as like backstory stuff, especially for Jackson Lamb, when he gets talking about like the days he used to do things back in like, because he used to be like a spy over Berlin Wall, like he was in East Berlin, like running against the Stasi and that kind of shit. And he has all these crazy stories about them. And, like, nobody knows if he's telling the truth or if he's just kind of doing tall tales. They can't tell. And he has all his connections, and it's just kind of fun to see this guy manipulate everything from the outside and just really get in there and just do shit. Like, one of my favorite ones is he in season 4, he goes to this little like meeting between a security contractor and MI5, and because they're gonna basically just get a contract for security, but to get this contract, what happened was they played a massive like prank on Slough House, and they got River involved, who did this usual River thing where he did not think and ran into action, and because he thought people's lives were in danger, but the defense contractors, they're like, okay, we target this guy, he's got a certain reputation, and then he runs off and royally fucks everything up, and we get the contract because we just showed MI5 their asses.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's exactly what happens. So he runs out, does his thing, and he comes back, and he realizes he's screwed up so badly. He gets like knocked the fuck out, and he's like beaten to shit the entire rest of the season. And like this happens, and it is his old buddy Spider who set this whole thing up, who had quit while he was fired from MI5, and like he found a new job with this defense contractor and set this whole shit up. And Jackson is spending this dinner with the defense contractor and the politicians and the MI5 agents involved who are trying to set up the defense contract. He's not invited to the dinner, but he invites himself, and he just sits down and starts drinking their very expensive wine from the bottle in front of him. And just like handing them their asses, like, oh yes, good job on showing us how fucked up we are. Nobody knows how fucked up we are. and just like downing a whole bottle of like very expensive French wine. And it's just kind of fun to like, go like, oh, good show. Yes, you definitely got us. Congratulations. We'll see you in hell. kind of shit. As they like fight back against these guys. It's a awesome little premise. And again, it's fun to watch this guy just kind of just run circles around people like verbally. And it's even better when he actually has nothing to say during a situation. And Gary Oldman's acting just like really pushes this forward. And I'm glad that like, so Jackson Lamb is in this show a lot. They don't shy away from the fact that, oh, we got a big celebrity to play this character, but you know, he's a big celebrity. So we gotta revolve everything else around everybody else. And they do enough of that, but they still have plenty of Jackson Lamb just being a ripe bastard. And just really kind of letting you see how he runs Slough House. One of the great things is that Jackson really cares about his agents, even though it seems like he doesn't. And he thinks they're all idiots. And it's like they're all idiots, but they're his idiots. And he will fucking kill a guy for them. And he does so often enough. So yeah, Slow Horses is great. It's one of these shows that like it's not. I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it, but if you're itching for like a really good spy fiction show, it's definitely like one of the best ones I've seen. There's not a lot of spy shows anyway, but this is like top tier for me as far as like spy stuff goes.
Apple in general seems to do a really poor job of having their shows just be in the more sort of wider public conversation.
I agree with that.
Like people who pay attention to stuff like Variety or Vanity Fair, it feels like Apple TV stuff gets talked about there, but if you're just, you know, on social media or, you know, the water cooler talk around work, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It feels like nobody is ever talking about Apple TV stuff. Even though they have a decent number of subscribers, I think Apple just does a really bad job kind of advertising its own stuff and just, again, like pushing it on social media. Now, is this show still ongoing or is it over?
It's ongoing. Season 6 is coming out this year. I also didn't even mention like who was, I guess, in running for like probably best character in this show for a lot of people. Even though he's not my favorite character, I should point out there was a guy named Roddy Ho. And Roddy Ho is their like hacker, and this is gonna be I think the selling point for a lot of people. It's Christopher Chung, and he's a voice actor and that kind of stuff, and he plays a huge narcissistic weeblord of a hacker who works out all the time, has a really shitty like a really awesome but a really shitty car, like ground effects, like tuned out to all hell kind of thing. He has his infotainment panel lights up with like a like half naked anime chick on it, kind of thing. I think the license plate says Homobile on it, kind of thing. Yeah, and he I should point out this is like I think it's a Subaru Impreza from 2007, like totally tweaked out the STI version, and like it's that kind of shit. And he is this kind of character where he is such a monster, especially to women. But it's so much fun to watch him be a piece of shit. Everybody is horrible in their own way. But like, I gotta say, Roddy Ho's giving Jackson Lamb a run for his money for like the most fun character to watch, especially in the later seasons where like they let him just run off, because he just does not care and he wants to show the world how much better he is than literally everybody else. My God, what a character they've written for that show. I think he's going to be the one that if anybody wants to, like, isn't sold in the show just yet, I think he's going to sell a lot of people on that one. He's weird. He doesn't quite belong there, but he definitely belongs there. It's also noted that like they put him in Slough House because he may be too good at his job.
Okay.
Like he's really, really, really good, but he's an asshole and nobody wants to deal with him. So we gotta put him somewhere. Anyway, that's Slow Horses. Unless you have any questions, Hassan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where are the horses?
Horses don't exist.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Horses are too weird to be real. I always suspected.
You ever seen a horse? No, you haven't.
Yeah, they don't make sense.
Yeah, they don't make sense. This is a fictional thing. A thing that gallops and has a long face. They eat apples and oats. No, who does this?
Yeah. Okay, that checks out. Nope, that's my last question.
All right.
Question
period
so in
over.
that case, why don't you tell people where to find us?
I will. You can find us at our Blue Sky account, which is at EIFNIR. Go there and you can tell us how much you love spy fiction, especially Johnny English. Johnny English is all right.
It's all right. I kind of don't want to hear somebody espouse their love of it, though. I just don't think it deserves it.
I kind of do. Look, right. I think Johnny English is the epitome of it's okay. Yes. To a point where like I'm like, okay, I if somebody truly loves this, I do want to hear why and how. I mean, like Rowan Atkinson's great, but like he's what?
They make 2 of those, right?
I believe so. Yeah, right.
God. Oh, I'm seeing they made 3 of them, possibly.
3, man.
Yes.
Awesome.
There's at least 3 of them.
They should have They should do a crossover movie with Johnny English and Austin Powers.
Sure.
Yeah.
That'd be a choice.
Yeah, it would be a choice. I think it'd be a good choice. You should also go to our Spotify and iTunes pages. Rate us something, leave a review, tell your friends about us. Also go to our YouTube page, which is you should go there and it's full of video content where you can see our ugly mugs, where you can also like and subscribe to the video, push buttons until the message self-destructs. Do that if you want to. If your message does self-destruct, there's more of a problem with your computer and not our video, just so you know. So, I take no responsibility. Anyway, you should also go to our friends at DJDane.com. That's good, that's our music, DJDane.com. Listen to his great tunes, and if you would not mind going to him and espousing for about 20 hours your love of Johnny English.
Yeah, he'll appreciate it.
He will, yes. So, someone's gonna have to. Anyway, that's it for our show. Tune in next time for another Aiders episode of Everything is Finally Ruined. See ya.
See ya.
Say it.